Outer Worlds 2 is one of the most anticipated sci-fi RPGs in 2025, and Obsidian Entertainment has been working on this sequel to be 2 times better than the Game of the Year nominated original. They're preparing for a big reveal and breakdown for June, and new gameplay and campaign details show that Outer Worlds 2 might be Xbox's Game of the Year. This is Colteastwood, and no, I'm not an AI voice. Today we're going to talk about Outer Worlds 2, the gameplay, the combat, the guns, the gear, and everything before we get the big reveal in June. If you end up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel, hit the bell to be notified of new weekly content, and let's talk about Outer Worlds 2. Outer Worlds 2 is likely set to be released around the middle of September, just after Marathon and Borderlands 4. And Obsidian Entertainment has shown over 20 minutes of gameplay and single-player campaign footage. Let's take a look at what Outer Worlds 2 has to offer. The sequel is set to be 2 times bigger than the original, with much larger maps, all beautifully and painstakingly rendered in Unreal Engine 5, with high-quality geometry, alpha particles, volumetric lighting, and color-bursting graphics with visual design that sets Outer Worlds 2 in between the realism of a modern Fallout game, with the whimsical tongue-in-cheek sarcastic stylings of brilliance found in games like Borderlands. The world is much bigger, and the maps are wider and allow more verticality and horizontal exploration across sightlines. They have added points of interest on the compass to allow you to discover and explore more organically in their semi-open worlds across different planets. So far, Obsidian have only shown a couple of planet locations, with the Golden Ridge and a typical alien cave-like outcropping with a corporate presence. Environments are a juxtaposition of 50s and 60s Art Deco futurism paired with gritty cyberpunk design, mixed with mechs, creatures, critters, and gun-toting soldiers. Obsidian has provided almost 10 minutes of gameplay combat footage that has seen huge leaps and improvements from the original game, with the devs explaining that they took cues from the latest Call of Duty and Bungie's Destiny games, with movement, running, and sliding into cover, and a new mantling system for verticality, and fast, dynamic gunplay with snappy, creative animations for reloads and aim down sight and hip-fire gun combat. The satisfaction of aiming down sights and chewing away enemy health bars with a varied weaponry set that balances the fire rate, weapon damage, output, and reload time. All of this, the movement is offset with enemies that now employ advanced tactics, including taking cover, using grenades to flush you out of cover, and flank you to keep combat dynamic. Enemies are now tiered and not level scaled. This prevents you from feeling like you're not getting more powerful. Instead of relying on enemies being set to a level in different planets or story progression, Obsidian has created this tiered system that allows you to take your time to fight higher tiered enemies or find higher tiered weaponry to match the combat challenge, or to simply come back and take on enemies guarding gear and loot later on when you've leveled up. Obsidian focused on making weapons feel satisfying from the start, while also integrating RPG mechanics that enhance gunplay based on player stats and skills. Some of the weapons that have been showcased vary from pistols for one-handed weapons, two-handed hulking weaponry that can blast an entire battlefield of enemies, and a bunch of melee weapons for up-close and personal combat. The bolt gun is a revolver-style weapon with burst fire that can be charged to shoot out liquid magma slugs in fast succession with a limited magazine size. Newly revealed is the assault rifle that closely resembles a Borderlands 2 Maliwan SMG, with a circular side-mounted reloading magazine, iron sights, and fast, powerful fire rate for controlled bursts. The reload animation looks very satisfying, bringing home that Maliwan feel in the Outer Worlds universe. Another weapon is the new bolt blender gun, with a top bucket mounted ammo container that can take different ammo types with different elemental effects, like loading in electro bolts and firing out wildly for crowd control like a Thompson machine gun. This gold ornated junk jet, a la Fallout 3, will take different ammo types and can be a creative outlet for dispatching waves of enemies. One of the bigger weapons they showed off last week was the Big Bang, a BFG Doom-style inspired two-handed super weapon that fires a rare mineral type found in the world that sends out an orange hot singularity that blasts bigger enemies or a field of enemies to bits. This can be used sparingly, but the Big Bang looks like a weapon you're going to want to keep in your arsenal at all times. Melee weapons make a return with the prominently shown purple plasma scythe that is a two-handed melee weapon that could take down some enemies in a single swipe, but you'll also have access to smaller swords or daggers to take down enemies with stealth. The stealth mechanic has not been upgraded from the original game and still does not have a bespoke melee animation or takedown animation. Enemies will just fall from a stealth strike. Hopefully Obsidian has heard some of the complaints and they'll add in a third-person animated assassination. And speaking of third person, Obsidian Entertainment added in a third-person camera for Avowed in early 2025. We haven't heard yet if Outer Worlds 2 will include a third-person camera, as the first game was only in first person. I would expect Outer Worlds 2 to be only a first-person shooter, but if they add in an accessibility feature to play this game and shoot your guns in third person, I will be super excited. My favorite gun showcased here is the triple breakaway shotgun. This is a triple barrel over and under and side-by-side combo that reloads 3 shells at a time and can take out enemies up close. In this clip, you can see that a tiered enemy with a ton of health will take several close-up buckshot rounds before being dispatched. But this triple barrel shotgun is definitely going to be one of my favorites, and we haven't seen something like this since Bulletstorm. There are over 90 perks available and a flaw system that you can set on your character to get a bonus or also a disadvantage. One perk they showed was the Sun Gazer that allows you to regenerate 50% of your health while in the sun and washes over the screen a light bloom to give you extra health during the daytime but a disadvantage while playing at night. But my favorite was the Foot and Mouth perk. Obsidian explained that the telemetry of people that played the first Outer Worlds game showed tons of players were skipping through dialogue quickly or choosing randomized dialogue just to get through the exposition to get back into combat. So they developed the Foot and Mouth flaw that will give you 15 seconds with a timer on screen to choose your dialogue option, and if you don't, it chooses one randomly for you. Obsidian said it's even possible to dismiss one of your companions because the randomized dialogue flaw could choose for you.
When we started this game and started looking at the lore and the background we wanted to do here, we wanted to set up something where it's like, I can go to a whole bunch of different places and have a whole bunch of different situations and not be locked into that. And I feel like New Vegas did a really good job of kind of like finding different flavors or different things you could say about what was going on in the post-apocalyptic wasteland. So that was just something where it's just like, let's give ourselves a much bigger playground this time.
We were kind of talking about this stuff and really looking at New Vegas as one of the touchstones that we were kind of building off of. We looked at things like having more omnipresent factions that were larger. It was something that we didn't really do in the Outer Worlds 1 for various reasons. And so we're like, yeah, we really want to explore that, and what would that be, right? That, again, harkens back to NCR and Caesar's Legion fighting over some core main thing. And so we have a lot of that same kind of thing. Obviously, a lot of our systems lean very heavily into character build, not only skills, but the perks you have and your background and the traits you take and the equipment you have. New Vegas did the exact same thing. Even something simple as like the pacing of the different points of interest around the world and how often you run into things took a lot of inspiration from Fallout New Vegas.
Obsidian wants your Outer Worlds character to be built and customized to your liking with over 90 perks and flaws to truly create a unique character, because one of the issues with the first Outer Worlds game was that halfway through you'll run out of desired perks. There is an expansive skill tree that once you get halfway through, you may not find anything else that you want to add, and that can really suck the life out of an RPG if you aren't scratching and itching for that next level up so you can unlock a perk you desire. They have fixed this with a strong emphasis on building a true RPG character based on gunplay, melee, sneak, dialogue, and subterfuge. One of the ways Obsidian is cultivating that customized playthrough for every player is by supporting light, medium, or heavy armor options for your character to make you fast or a tank on the battlefield, allowing you to build up your perks and gear to suit your playstyle or to augment choices you've already made. There are also gadgets available in the game to offer you more than just shooting or punching your way through problems, and one of them is the N-Ray scanner. This allows you to see enemies behind walls, but also allows you to see some enemies that can cloak and be invisible. The N-ray scanner can also be used to find secrets, open doors, or just assess a battlefield from an Overwatch position before you go in guns blazing. Time dilation returns with slow motion bullet time that can be activated and used on cooldown. Obsidian has integrated time dilation to be as useful as Fallout's VAT system. This will give you time to line up headshots with sniper rifles, or to rush in slow motion and take out enemies, or get back into cover. Outer Worlds 2 hasn't revealed the companions that will be accompanying you on missions, and fans of the first Outer Worlds know that there was a good handful of memorable and resourceful companions for dialogue and combat situations. One thing I hope they improve with the companion strikes is the ability to keep your companion passive until instructed. This one clip shows that your companion can interrupt or get in the line of sight and take down an enemy before you can. In the past, you could use the left or right D-pad to allow your companion to strike an enemy. And this was on a cooldown, and I hope they allow you to set your companions to only fight when you instruct them. Xbox is readying Outer Worlds 2 for the Xbox June showcase, and Obsidian Entertainment will treat us to an extended 20 to 25 minute breakdown of locations, companions, weapons, and a look into the story setting for Outer Worlds 2. Right now, with all of this gameplay footage available and the improvements that are being made from each reveal, it looks like Obsidian Entertainment has another hit RPG in the works. And if things go to plan, I can see Outer Worlds 2 being Xbox's next Game of the Year contender for 2025. This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I've got a lot of hype and buzz personally for Outer Worlds 2. I love the first game and all the DLC, and everything they're showing to IGN has been this slow crawl and this slow burn of showing different guns and different mechanics that are coming into the game, and I'm getting really excited to get hands-on, and I really feel like it'll be really soon that we get to play Outer Worlds 2. I think it's going to come out right at the end of the summer, and I can't wait to play it. If you ended up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new weekly content. If you want to further support what we're doing here on the Colteastwood channel, you can do that by hitting the join button below, or you can join early access and monthly merch giveaways. All of that is also in the channel membership and the Patreon. Check that out. If you also want to learn how to do graphic design, production, and run your own channel or podcast, join the super class. There's a reduced price, a discount there to join and get one-on-one training in Adobe products and so much more. Also, we have the XNC podcast. You want to learn about what's going on in the industry, and we get good discussion there with my co-host and I. We'll be talking about leaks and rumors, everything ramping up for Xbox Showcase. That show is 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern every Monday night. It's also available on demand. Check it out on Spotify in video and audio mode and Apple Podcasts. You want to listen to this in your car and hear all the discussion about what's going on in the games industry. Let me know what you think about Outer Worlds 2. Are you super hyped for it? Do you think it's going to be better than the first one? I want to hear what you think in the comment section. And while you're there, do as I always say, please, it's a request, be nice.